Hey everybody, my name is Becky and I'm a real estate agent based in Southern California. I'm also an educator too. I have a background, MBA, an MS in human resource design, and I love to train and educate. So I also have a training platform for real estate agents because I found kind of a little bit of a niche in the market in that sometimes real estate agents don't see themselves as business people, and we absolutely are. And I love this topic of using AI, ChatGPT, to figure out how we can start playing with the tools that are available to optimize our business. And it's only going to continue to grow. And I'm excited to be invited to share some of the things that I've learned in the space. So we're going to be talking about AI and ChatGPT. All of us come to this topic with varying levels of experience at this point or knowledge about ChatGPT. So I'm doing this kind of, tutorial, kind of high level, giving some basics about ChatGPT and what the big deal is, basically. The main thing that you have to know about this tool, it's a garbage in, garbage out type of tool. So again, the quality of what you ask determines the quality of what you get. So this is engineering basics 101. I know AI won't replace us. This is like the thing that comes up all the time. It's a very brave new world, right? It's not going to replace us. We're going to have all of these technologies, but the agents that continue to use these technologies effectively are the ones that are going to replace you, right? But that is just how technology continues to adapt. That's how we have to choose to adapt or not adapt as technology evolves. So think about this as a partner in your business more than anything. So what is the difference between a search engine and ChatGPT? But here are some of the various uses that you guys can have for some of this AI and using ChatGPT. There are tons, and I wanted to go through so many of them. There's about 600 plus tools right now that I'm testing and continuing to codify into learning into my training platform for agents, which is lotuslaunchre.com, listing presentations, conversations with clients or other agents, and that's very fun for me, and a marketing plan. So these are 3 actionable things that you guys can utilize ChatGPT along with other AI to begin to develop. So what is it? It's a time saver more than anything. Think of it as your extra nerdy friend who always wins bar trivia. That person that just knows everything. You can collaborate with that. And so that allows you to focus on some higher value activities. And Gamma is a really cool tool that is powered by AI. So in order to prompt, to get that prompt from ChatGPT to put it into Gamma, you'll see my initial prompt here was you're a listing specialist. In Gamma requires that you have 300 or fewer characters. And what's really cool about ChatGPT is you can take this entire winning presentation that ChatGPT gives you, and you can say, that's great. Can you please give it to me in 300 characters or less so I can fit the parameters of this AI? And the AI here, and this is the prompt that it gave me. Out of all of this, ChatGPT gave me this, and it took about 5 different prompts in order to get there and to narrow it down. And then you put it in Gamma. Once you put it in Gamma, it gives you an outline for the presentation. And in less than 3 minutes, it will produce this presentation, which I've downloaded in a PDF and taken a look at. It is kind of remarkable, some of the technologies that are available to us now. When I was in my business school, I wish I had something like this where I could create, use a partner like ChatGPT to create a prompt that created an outline for me that pulled it into a way that I can start a presentation off and then pull in some of my MLS information and some of my, other reports that are specific to a property. And I have it ready to go and it's out the door. So this is not a perfect presentation that I can just take with me. You're going to have to look through, edit it, make sure that it has the proper language. There are things that you definitely have to check on as you're getting something like this out from Gamma, but it's a great start. When you think about yourself as having writer's block or something, and you're like, gosh, I have to put this, meaningful presentation together for a client. I have a big meeting. Like, how amazing is that Gamma is able to produce something like this off of a couple prompts from ChatGPT. So, again, there's tons of tools that I'm collecting and looking at and testing and all of this stuff. And a lot of that is within some of the platform of Lotus Launch. So you can see how Gamma is super powerful in how it works. So this is one that's kind of fun for me to just talk about. It's communication. I've used and trained ChatGPT as a clinical psychologist. And I have a chat dedicated to a clinical psychologist ChatGPT to help me resolve crucial conversations with clients, with other agents. I mean, you can go on, you can do personal, you can know your husband, wife, like whoever, partner. And so I trained it to be a clinical psychologist. It understood. I was focused on DISC personality, particularly. It understood that. And then I started asking it questions about my client, who is a high D, high driver personality. And I had to figure out how to talk with this person in a very succinct way, in a way that they understand and will respond to. And so this, for me, is what kind of has blown me away. The potential to use this as a communication partner between your clients and anybody else you can think of. Again, there's iterations of it that you have to go through in order to get the right, message. But I received a message that was perfect, and I was able to send, and very quick. So I knew exactly my personality style does not necessarily fit with a high D personality style. But this is a great tool to kind of check yourself if you don't have anybody to check on communication with you. That's important. That's how we get our business and maintain our business. And the other part I think is really awesome is I'm really trying to focus my business on not servicing every client. I want to focus on the clients that meld well with my personality. And the way that I'm starting to do that is I'm training my ChatGPT, the chat feature, who's the clinical psychologist, to create an intake form for me when I'm interviewing clients, when I'm trying to figure out what their stressors are. I'm trying to understand if they're going to be a good communication, personality fit for me, because as we know, this is one of the most stressful transactions that a lot of our clients make. So we want to make sure that they're going to be prepared and that we set them up for success. If we choose to take them on as a client, that's our responsibility. So in sum, the best practices here, when you approach this technology, when you approach ChatGPT, make sure you are prompting correctly. Prompts very much matter. I hope I was kind of able to illustrate the differences between a search prompt in Google versus a prompt, an engineering prompt in ChatGPT. So again, as of September 2021, there's the cutoff. If you want to pay, you can upgrade that. I think it's something pretty minimal, maybe $40 or something. New topic, new chat. So also really important, train each chat to be what you want it to be. You must edit your ChatGPT. Like I shared that presentation, there are so many errors in it. It's unbelievable. It uses terrible language, sometimes. So don't just submit something that the AI creates. Make sure that you are just double checking it, just like you would anything else. Proofreading, and stay on top of the tech changes. There's so much information going out. This is growing so fast. You saw the tools that I'm already testing. There's so many more that are out there and are going to continue, to be out there. So stay on top of it. I think trainings like this are just super important in order to sharpen our skills. And if you want more information, a lot of this is in the platform called Lotus Launch, my platform where I teach agents how to use some of these tools and be business owners. And it's really a relationship-based platform. Right now, we're doing a 2-month trial, free, no credit card, nothing involved, but you can try out the material, test it out. A lot of these prompts are already in there. And, you can give us some feedback while we're still in beta. So with that, please stay in touch. Here's my information.
That was amazing. I love all of the flow and how you put this together. And I had no idea about Gamma. So that's a big takeaway for me today is that piece of being able to collaborate two platforms together, and the word engineering prompt versus a search. So we have to start saying that differently. I loved it.
No, that was amazing. Just like you, I had never heard about Gamma. A lot of the things that Becky was bringing up, I'm like, how did I not know this? But that's why we're having this. And, I saw some of the comments and people saying, that's amazing. So thank you, Becky, because I feel like now I have so many more ideas for how I can use ChatGPT. No, it's been great.
Did Gamma put the pictures in to the presentation, or did you have to find those?
It did everything. And I wanted to do a live demo on it because it is alarmingly fast. And somebody asked a question on it, about the prompts. Let me see exactly what the question is. Am I understanding it correctly? It takes the info from AI and you place it in there and it creates a presentation. It takes the info that you input into Gamma. And the info that I grabbed was the prompt that I received from ChatGPT. So you can see how I use ChatGPT in partnership with other AI that are out there. So in order to generate that presentation, I had to use both ChatGPT and Gamma AI in order to get to the result. And it pulls pictures. What I don't know, and I have to check this, I don't know if any of those images are copywritten. So normally when I pull pictures for my newsletter, I check Pexels or some kind of free site that gives me, uncopyrighted images. What I don't know, and I haven't checked into it, is if any of those images are copywritten. So use at your own discretion. I'm sure if you're using that presentation for one client, you're not going to be, posting it all over the place or, posting it online. But I would just, again, the regulations on this stuff is so new. A lot of it's going to be coming out very slowly. I'm sure once everyone's on top of it, it'll be like a hammer. But it truly is, once you pull the information into your 300 characters or less into Gamma, it spits out that presentation. I didn't even touch it, the one that you guys saw. It completely spit it out with the layout, the format, the pictures, everything in there, just based off 300 characters that I prompted it with.
Fantastic. And I love how you're researching so many different platforms that you can layer like a cake, right? Just have all these layers and, how you can leverage it. So I think it's fantastic. So
thank you. And there's definitely more. There's lots more. So if you want to follow me on Lotus Launch, again, we have a 2-month free trial, no credit card involved. It's just content right now while we're in beta. So please check it out.
One of the things that somebody did ask is Gamma free?
She said yes.
Yes? Okay.
Gamma free.
Yes, it is free. So that's really cool. So I think there's some great opportunities for y'all today to get some great free websites, information, things that you can just spend an hour and kind of put together your strategy. Because I saw a few comments about feeling overwhelmed. Totally get that. So set aside some time where you're not going to be interrupted so you can kind of look at it, play around with it. That's always been my number one thing that I say to agents. It's like anything new. When I first got a laptop, and this is a long time ago, I had to play with it to understand it. And then understand the programs, and then understand, how, like PowerPoint. Anybody who's done a PowerPoint or Google Slide, you have to play around with it to understand it, and then you get quicker at it and you get better at it. This is the same kind of thing. So don't be afraid of it. Use it. Don't ignore it because it feels overwhelming. Take just I think an hour, you could really kind of get into the vibe of it and see how it can literally, and this is what I think is always a game changer, make you money, honey. Because when things can make you money, honey, all of a sudden it's not so overwhelming because now you're like, wait a second, if this is going to help me do XYZ more sales a year and put X XYZ more in my pipeline and help me create a niche that I've been thinking about forever. And I haven't done anything because my brain's in overload. For anyone who deals with ADD or ADHD or anxiety or whatever, sometimes it's hard to be creative. This literally was a gift in December. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe like my brain is tired from creating content. And this kind of lifted it for me and said, okay, now I've got like my little, my partner in crime, my goose, I guess is the best way to put it if you liked Maverick. So now I've got my goose or my Thelma to my Louise. It just makes it easier to create that content. Wouldn't you say so, ladies?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yes,
Once I learned and I figured out how to use ChatGPT, I was like, man, how did I not have this before?
It's just leveraging the tools available to us to free up our time. Just like you said, I think all of us are spinning a lot of plates all at the same time, and anything to help alleviate some of that is time well spent, especially learning. I think the word engineering is important because and we said it a lot in this, and I haven't seen a lot of trainings that talk so much about the engineering component.
Yeah.
And I think the sooner that we can learn how to treat AI and ChatGPT like something we're programming, it'll change our thinking about how to use it and partner with it. So engineering, thinking about yourself as an engineer, I think is really important as you approach this technology.
Absolutely. And many of you may have side businesses. Start thinking about how you're going to layer that with if you have other things that you do. This isn't exclusive to real estate. So maybe you have a notary company, maybe you have a clean out company, maybe you have your wedding planner. My daughter's getting married Labor Day weekend, so we're in this deep wedding mode. You can really leverage things. It can do landing pages for you. It can create social media posts. I mean, it's just crazy what this thing can do.
I know that someone asked, are you doing this for your prospecting time, or how are you managing all of this and still making phone calls, door knocking, open houses? At the end of the day, I would say you have to set some time aside. I mean, you can't just spend all day on ChatGPT, like time block it. This shouldn't consume your entire life. We wanted to come on here to share with you how we're using it. But like for me, I'm still, focusing on other things for my real estate business. So it's not just ChatGPT 24/7. And I think that same person asked if we do classes or are we just agents who are sharing this info. So we're agents. Becky, I know that you teach, and we just want to get back to agents because we know how it is and how it feels to be confused about something new that's going on, that's everyone's talking about. And you're like, how do I figure it out for my business? So that's why we're doing this. That's why we came on here. So hopefully you all have found this super helpful.
We can do it again, once we move through this, get through everybody going back to school and the end of summer. This is why we do these things. Loida and I have done some live events. And so we decided just to bring it on to a webinar.
Yes. So stay tuned. I mean, we're probably going to be doing something like this again. So just be on the lookout. Follow us on Instagram because that's usually where we're going to post what's happening and when.
I'm going to be speaking at Karen Cooper's event in Ashland, Virginia in early October. And I'll be talking about niches there. And I'm really looking forward to that. And then we also have our Real Broker Conference, the RISE Conference in San Diego, which I've never been to, which is shocking. Then all I keep thinking is of Anchorman. So I'm having fun with that thought process. But so I'll be out in San Diego at the end of October. Becky, are you doing anything? You mentioned Women's Council of Realtors, which is a fabulous organization, by the way.
Really awesome. And I'm speaking in August, middle of August, at Citrus Valley Association of Realtors. And it is going to be a live streamed event. And so my partner and I are going to be talking about marketing automation. So I'll make sure that link gets out to Loida and Michele and share it out. But super fun to teach. And I love helping out fellow colleagues for sure.
Yeah.